Live from BPD headquarters, breaking down the latest details.
Plus an update on a deadly motorcycle crash from over the weekend. A statement to 12 News from the family of the woman killed.
And a local fashion designer is putting Southeast Texas on the map. How the Lamar grad is honoring his mother through his clothing line and store. 12 News Daybreak starts now. Good morning, Southeast Texas. Thanks for waking up with Daybreak on 12 News Plus. I'm Tia Johnson.
And I'm Mark Armstrong. It's 7:01, so let's go ahead and get a first look at your weather with meteorologist Jeff Gerber as we take a live look outside from our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network above Beaumont. Is that overcast skies I see there, Jeff, or is it just the camera playing tricks on my eyes?
Yeah, it's hard to tell some mornings. It looks like it's overcast, but it's actually clear skies. And we're seeing a mix of some clearer skies in some spots and some overcast in other spots where we've been seeing some fog out there this morning. Starting off in the 70s this morning, with the exception of Beaumont at 67, but everywhere else we're showing 70s. So a little warmer this morning thanks to some of that overcast. Here's a look over towards our 12 News studio, and you can see here not overcast, but not completely clear either. We're seeing a few clouds out there for this morning. This camera brought to you by Mid-County Plumbing, part of the Roofing 911 Live Skycam network. And as we take a look right now at current visibility, as you can see up towards the lakes area, visibility at 0, 0.8 of a mile in Beaumont, but just looking at that camera, we didn't look too bad. About 4 miles in Orange and then 8 miles in Port Arthur. But really it's up towards the lakes where we've been seeing some thicker fog for this morning. That should break up here pretty quickly over the next couple of hours or so. Our day planner is showing temperatures up around 90 today, and we'll also see a small chance for a couple of isolated showers late in the afternoon into the early evening. Cooler weather is on the way. We're going to be talking more about that coming up in just a little bit.
Want to bring your attention to some breaking news from overnight in Beaumont. The second suspect in a deadly weekend shooting is in custody. 12 News was once again the only news station there as 31-year-old Murray Gibbs was taken to the Jefferson County Jail last night around 11 p.m. This comes after another suspect was arrested and the victim, 34-year-old Joseph Bim, was identified.
Yeah, we've been following the latest developments in this story since Sunday. And 12 News reporter Derek Jones, he's live from Beaumont Police Headquarters in downtown. Derek, both suspects now in custody, and we are also now hearing from the victim's family.
Mark and Tia, that's right. 12 News spoke with the victim's family yesterday, and Murray Gibbs, 31 years old, was taken into custody by BPD. According to sources, he surrendered himself to the station and since then has been taken to the Jefferson County Jail. It comes after officers arrested 46-year-old Lamond Hines a little more than 12 hours after the Sunday morning shooting. Both men are charged with murder. Hines' bond is set at $2.5 million. A bond has not yet been set for Gibbs. I was out in the neighborhood yesterday where the shooting happened, speaking to neighbors who were in disbelief, trying to understand why these two men allegedly opened fire on Bim's vehicle as he drove down Orange Avenue. According to a probable cause affidavit 12 News obtained from Judge Mark Durin, surveillance video showed the two suspects getting out of the white SUV and approaching Bim's truck. The second suspect was spotted in the road. 12 News spoke with Bim's family, his mother saying she knew something was wrong after he left her house, later finding out what happened.
Yeah, just left here. I just know something was wrong because I could not close my eyes to go to sleep because all the side of his truck on the driver's side is all shot up. They were definitely shooting to take him out.
We also spoke with the victim's sister, Kelly Little. She says she doesn't know why anyone would want to hurt her brother, saying he was a caring father, brother, and friend who will be greatly missed. Now that both have been arrested and bonds are set, we're waiting for a hearing that could happen in the next 48 hours. At the BPD station in Beaumont, 12 News, Derek Jones.
Thank you, Derek. We'll be keeping our eyes on those updates. Thank you so much. We're also hearing from the family of a woman who was killed in a motorcycle crash over the weekend. It happened early Saturday morning on South Major Drive near I-10. According to police, the driver, Clifton Joliet, lost control of his motorcycle and hit a concrete culvert. He and his wife, Emily, were thrown from the bike. She was pronounced dead at the scene. Clifton was taken to the hospital in critical condition. In a statement to 12 News, her uncle said, quote, Emily was a devoted and loving mother whose warmth and kindness touched everyone who knew her. We're working to get an update on her husband's condition.
In Orange County, one person was hospitalized Sunday night after a crash. Now, according to DPS, an SUV was driving down Highway 62 near I-10 when someone walked into the road. They were hit by that SUV and taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. DPS hasn't given an update on the victim yet.
Firefighters from the Houston area responded to a fire yesterday at a plant in Freeport. Neighbors heard a blast, saw smoke, and heard sirens around 8 p.m. after flames and smoke were seen coming from the Doe chemical plant. The company says the fire is contained within Plant B and all employees are accounted for. And
that comes only hours after an explosion at another plant in Mount Bellevue that left 3 workers hurt. That blast happened at the One Oak plant on Highway 146 in Chambers around 11 a.m. yesterday. Now, crews, they were able to get that fire under control, and we are told those workers should be okay. Across the nation now, authorities in Northern California responding to a helicopter crash overnight.
At least 3 people are seriously hurt. Photos of the scene show it appears to be a medical helicopter. Officials say there was a pilot, nurse, and a paramedic on board. One person was actually trapped underneath the helicopter.
One person that was trapped, the captain immediately sequestered the help of just civilians that were standing around. They were able to lift part of that helicopter out and get that victim out so we could get them loaded into the back of an ambulance and transported off scene.
It's still unclear what led up to the crash.
All right, President Trump saying that Sean Diddy Combs has reached out to ask for a pardon after being convicted on 2 prostitution-related charges. He was sentenced to over 4 years in prison Friday, getting credit for the 12 months that he's already served since his arrest in September of last year. A representative for Combs has not responded to the president's remarks on this pardon. And former NFL quarterback Mark Sanchez, he's now facing a felony charge after police say that he got into a physical altercation in Indianapolis over the weekend.
Officials say he was stabbed in the incident involving a truck driver during a dispute over parking. Melissa Don explains.
Former New York Jets quarterback Mark Sanchez, who played 8 seasons in the NFL, facing a felony charge of battery in Indianapolis in connection with an alleged altercation that left Sanchez stabbed and a 69-year-old man with injuries prosecutors say are very serious.
I don't care what you do for a living. I don't care where you live. If you come into our city, commit violence, we will use all the tools at our disposal to hold you accountable.
The felony charge, the prosecutor says, could land him a sentence of 1 to 6 years behind bars if convicted. He also faces misdemeanor charges, including public intoxication and unlawful entry of a motor vehicle.
These new charges are supported by an amended probable cause affidavit, which goes into way more detail about what took place on that night and also more clearly outlines the nature and extent of the victim's injuries in this case.
Prosecutors adding they have a lot of surveillance video taken in the area and more charges are possible.
The thing that stands out to us is this was a situation that did not need to occur. We are literally talking about people fighting over a parking space.
Police say the 38-year-old Fox Sports commentator approached a 69-year-old truck driver in the loading dock of a downtown Indianapolis hotel. According to court records, Sanchez allegedly climbed into the truck and kept the driver from calling for help before the fight broke out. According to court documents, Sanchez grabbed and threw the man toward a wall. The man then pepper sprayed Sanchez before stabbing him multiple times, saying he thought, "This guy is trying to kill me."
Indiana has some of the most robust self-defense laws in the nation, and that's always going to be part of the equation when you evaluate cases like this and trying to determine exactly what took place.
Sanchez waived his initial court hearing that was set for today. The judge set a pre-trial conference hearing for next month.
And back here at home, communities across Southeast Texas celebrating National Night Out Against Crime today, and it is a chance for neighbors and residents to meet with law enforcement who patrol their streets, and it is all about building a stronger community. And many agencies in our area are participating. You can expect food, giveaways, and family-friendly events. Beaumont, Nederland, Port Neches, Groves, Port Arthur, China, and Jasper, they're all celebrating and participating. You can read more about the National Night Out on our website.
This morning, we're highlighting a Beaumont native whose clothing line is bringing purpose while paying tribute to loved ones. His designs recently found their way to New York Fashion Week. 12 News reporter Spencer Plato spoke with the Lamar grad who says every piece in his line tells a story.
Stitching his dreams into a reality, a Lamar grad has transformed his love for fashion into a business. But the idea behind the clothing line is more than just style.
So I've always been around fashion.
Beaumont native and 2016 Lamar graduate Julian Stevens is using his clothing line to hold on to memories. He started his brand Dos Corazones in 2020 and later opened a store location in Park Del Mall in 2022.
Which stands for Two Hearts in Spanish. It was a tribute for my late mother. She passed away in 2020. Her name was Diane Crosby, hence the D and the C. So it just means two hearts, and me and my brother stands for me and my brother.
Each piece pays homage to his mother's life and keeps her memories alive.
We make pieces that kind of like honor her and tie back to our childhood, or pieces she might have liked, or like fabric she might have liked or put us on when we were kids. And just tell like a story of our overall childhood and growing up.
Recently, Stevens found himself in New York at Fashion Week.
I'm throwing a fashion show in New York during Fashion Week, and I love for you guys to showcase your stuff. So I was like, it was a no-brainer.
He says his participation in a fashion show and pop-up shop pushed him to do more.
It was a good overall turnout, I would say, and we came back inspired to do more and just grow the brand and keep going.
Stevens never envisioned he would come this far.
Because you have to see it first in your mind and just believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, how do you expect others to believe in yourself? And you have to carry yourself that way.
Stevens plans to donate proceeds of his sales to breast cancer patients. In Beaumont, Spencer Plato, 12 News.
And coming up here on 12 News Daybreak, if you get in a fender bender with your child's car seat in the vehicle, do you need to get a new one? Well, that answer is coming up. And still ahead here, a rare bear in East Texas, a black bear of all things, and a viral video of a teen rescuing one of their customers. Your trending news is coming up. Your time's now 7:12.
We begin with breaking news in Port Neches.
Firefighters continue attacking the flames from the air.
We're working to learn more about a police chase.
We'll give you a live look at the scene tonight. Our crew there.
A chase in Port Neches turned into a standoff.
So we're working to get you more information.
We're going to keep you updated on air and online as we learn more.
Stream extended coverage on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
I wouldn't say that I was like a partier, but I would say that I was a social butterfly. So we would just always drink. That night, I went through a red light and I T-boned another vehicle. And I just remember thinking like, oh no. Right after the DWI, I lost my license and I did 30 days in jail. I could have killed him because I decided to be reckless. I have a ton of regrets. I'm Katie. 5 years ago, I got a DWI and I'm still paying for it every day.
As tropical activity picks up in the Gulf, 12 News is your hurricane headquarters. Get prepared before a storm hits. Watch the 12 News Hurricane Special, streaming on 12 News Plus. From the must-haves in your supply kit to the evacuation routes you'll need to take, plus safety tips and how you can protect yourself from storm scammers. The 12 News Hurricane Special, keeping you prepared. Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
As Texans, we have many reasons to be proud of the Lone Star State. Showing our pride by saying, "Don't mess with Texas," means we gotta step up, walk the walk. Do our part to keep Texas clean. Because after all these years, all these miles, all these traditions, for all us Texans, "Don't mess with Texas" means don't litter.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Patrick Vaughn, here with one of the most important hurricane tips, having an evacuation plan. First, gather food, water, and medicine before storing it in an emergency kit. Plan well in advance where you're going, how you'll get there, and if you'll need to transport any pets, small children, or the elderly. For more hurricane tips, go to 12newsnow.com/hurricane.
Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
Welcome back. You probably already know that if you get into a major wreck and your child's car seat is in your vehicle, you should get a new car seat. But what if you were just in a little fender bender? Well, Consumer Reports is breaking down what's safe and what's not.
Consumer Reports car safety expert Emily Thomas was recently rear-ended on the highway. Thankfully, she's okay and her kids weren't in the car, but their car seats were. That raised a big question for any parent. Do you need to replace a car seat after a crash?
If you've been in a minor crash, you may not need to replace your car seats. But if it's been a moderate to severe crash, then you should definitely replace them. Always follow the instructions from your car seat manufacturer.
So what's considered a minor crash? Here's the checklist from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. If any of these criteria are not met, it's time to get a new car seat.
In my case, the car seats looked fine. There was no visible damage. There were also no injuries sustained in the crash. The impact was at the rear of the vehicle, so the doors closest to the car seats were not damaged. However, both vehicles were towed and there was airbag deployment. So this counts as a moderate to severe crash and the car seats have to be replaced.
Some child seat manufacturers say you should replace their car seats after any crash. You should follow the instructions of your car seat manufacturer.
If your car seats need to be replaced, talk to your insurance company about covering the cost. I'll also need to properly dispose of my car seats so no one else uses them. Remove all the covers, cut the harness straps, and mark the shell with do not use.
Even when your kids aren't in the car, make sure their car seats are properly secured so they don't become projectiles in a car crash. If you have a booster seat, buckle it in. When riding with your kids, make sure they're properly harnessed, snug, and at the correct height.
And experts say that you should avoid buying secondhand car seats if possible, but if you need to get one, Consumer Reports has an interactive decision chart to help you figure out whether it is safe to use. Just visit consumerreports.org to check that out.
Outside, we've been seeing a little bit of patchy fog in some areas, especially up towards the lakes area. We've been seeing a little bit of fog from Lumberton all the way up and towards Jasper, over towards Newton, seeing some fog out there this morning. Right here at Beaumont, not too bad as far as the visibility. As a matter of fact, the sun's starting to come up, as you can see out there in the distance. This is from our 12 News studio. Some clouds out there, but we have a lot of blue sky as well. This camera brought to you by Mid-County Plumbing, part of the Roofing 911 Live Skycam network. Temperature-wise, we're right into the lower 70s this morning. Have not really dropped into the 60s too much, with the exception of Beaumont. Beaumont's been in the upper 60s all morning. Right now it's 67. 71 Woodville and Kirbyville. Jasper's at 70, as well as Orange, 72 in Silsbee, and 73 in Port Arthur. Here are visibilities out there, and showing 0.8 of a mile in Beaumont. Now that's west of town at Peninsula Airport, so it gets a little foggy out there a little bit. And then we're seeing 4 mile visibility in Orange, 8 miles visibility in Port Arthur, and Jasper, like I said, been showing 0 miles visibility. And been checking the camera up there, and been seeing a little bit of fog, but it's starting to break up now. It shouldn't last for too much longer, maybe another hour or so in some of those extremely foggy spots. I have a couple of fronts on the map. This one here associated with the area of low pressure, kind of drifting back down into parts of East Texas. This actually lifted north as a warm front. So we're a little warmer today, a little bit more moisture, a couple of showers along the coast. That's about it. We're waiting for this cold front. That's going to come through, it looks like, Thursday, and bring our temperatures down a little bit, and also give us some drier air. Right now, pretty quiet on radar. There are some showers over towards Bolivar Peninsula, and there's one lone shower here south end of Sabine Lake by Sabine Pass over on the Louisiana side. That's about there. Our futurecast takes us through the 70s through 10 o'clock. We'll jump into the 80s late in the morning and then top out around 90 for this afternoon. And we'll go with a 20% chance again today of a couple isolated showers. Saw a few of those yesterday. I think there's a possibility of that again for today. Temperatures falling back into the 70s for this evening, and then eventually back into the lower 70s, upper 60s tomorrow. A couple of things out in the Atlantic. Neither one of these are expected to come into the Gulf. The one well out in the Atlantic, though, could be our next storm, Jerry. Our forecast, partly cloudy, small chance of rain today, highs near 90. For tonight, back down into the 70s and 60s, partly cloudy. And then our 7-day forecast shows a small chance of rain today and tomorrow. Then after that, Thursday through Monday, some cooler temperatures coming in. Morning lows down in the lower 60s. That's going to feel very nice, especially Saturday morning.
Edging down just a little bit on those temperatures. I am not going to mind those 60s at all in the morning.
No, I think it's going to be great. We're talking about some upper 50s in the lakes. That's jacket weather.
For some.
For some.
For Jeff.
For others, it's T-shirts and tank tops.
I always wear my jacket, so I'm perfect time for it. All right, thank you, Jeff. And just a reminder, you can download our app at any time to get the latest on the weather. You can check that radar by clicking the radar tab in the app. 7:20 right now. Time for some trending news. Video going viral this morning out of Moss Bluff, Louisiana, of a server who is now being hailed a hero.
Why? Well, she saved her customer's life. Madison was hanging Halloween decorations when the customer signaled he was choking. Without hesitation, she successfully performed the Heimlich maneuver on him. And get this, she's just a high school student. Madison credits her dad for showing her how to do it. Great skill to know.
Absolutely. Always be prepared. Good job for her stepping up there.
All right, well, folks in Central East Texas are scratching their heads this morning over really rare black bear sightings.
Yeah, to be clear, you might find black bears in Louisiana, but certainly not that often in deep East Texas, if at all. Now, this guy, he's a terror. Look at him go. The big guy has been seen at least 20 times in the area since mid-July. A Texas Park and Wildlife representative saying that he likely came from Louisiana, a raging Cajun there, but he's sticking around for months. It's really unusual for him to be sticking around for this long, and he doesn't think that he is going anywhere anytime soon.
We sent a big email blast, flyer out, be used to living with a bear now.
And the park ranger there, Mr. Rubin, or the ranger I should say, says that the bear is even using deer feeders to fatten up for the winter. That's one way to snack on the go.
Yeah, it's kind of like cats. If you leave food for them, or any animal, you leave food, they know where they can go and get it. So he knows where he can fill up, so he doesn't need to keep wandering around.
That's a big cat right there. All right, this week's Taco Bell is this week's Taco Tuesday is extra special because it is also National Taco Day.
This used to be celebrated on October 4th, but it was adjusted so it would always land on Taco Tuesday. So who's got the cheap tacos today? Taco Bell will have $1 Cantina chicken soft tacos and $5 party pack deals for app users. Jack in the Box is offering 2 free tacos with any order of $1 or more. That's for app users too, so there's no reason not to celebrate. I love a good taco.
Absolutely. Street tacos, are you a carnitas person or beef, or can you tell us?
Oh, I like them all.
Yeah, me
but
too.
I really like a steak, shrimp.
Fish tacos.
I'll do a good fish taco. Any type of taco, okay?
Love them.
I'm carnivore, so whatever. All right, 7:23 now. Looking at the skies of Jasper, it looks like that fog is starting to clear up. Meteorologist Jeff Gerber will be back.
This is a tornado on the ground.
And the roads are slippery.
We have a tropical storm warning.
Look at this water.
Street flooding in Beaumont.
It is going to get extremely cold.
The metal building blew away from a business. Staying safe behind the wheel is imperative.
Find a safe spot, move to an interior room.
Just make sure you're staying safe.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
The STEM fields are providing opportunity to be part of the developments that will shape the future, and the Army National Guard is at the forefront of the movement. Soldiers can serve part-time and choose from dozens of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics jobs, working with cutting-edge technology and innovations. And the skills and experience they receive can open doors for them to civilian careers in the STEM world. Join a team that is taking the lead in STEM by talking to a local recruiter or by going to nationalguard.com/careers.
409 Sports. To us, it's about so much more than a highlight, wins or losses.
It's the heart that makes up the game, the triumph of the human spirit.
It's agony and victory, diehards and day ones. It can divide or unify a community.
We give you the stats, but then we inspire you with the stories. The unpredictable, unforgettable, and incomparable.
We bring it to you all because sports lives in the 409.
No matter where we start, every mile brings us closer. And as Texans, we take care of each other along the way. We lend a hand, slow down, and take our time. At the end of the day, we all want to get home safe. Drive like a Texan, kind, courteous, and safe.
I'm meteorologist Kerry Cooper here with another hurricane tip. Stay connected. Sign up for free emergency alerts from your local county and plan on to monitor the latest local weather and news at 12newsnow.com. Being aware of any new information will be invaluable. And finally, know the types of alerts you may receive. A watch means be prepared, while a warning means act. For more hurricane tips, go to 12newsnow.com/hurricane.
Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
Welcome back. It's the Symphony meets the Circus. Daybreak, we're giving away one lucky winner a chance to win 4 tickets to see a thrilling display of music and acrobatics. This is all happening October 25th at the Julie Rogers Theater, downtown Beaumont. And to enter, simply go to 12newsnow.com/contest. You're going to have until 6:30 a.m. on October 17th. I believe that's 10 days from now, where you're going to announce the winner that day at the end of the hour. And then we're going to mail you those tickets if you win. So go ahead and enter, and good luck.
Looking at the bus stop this morning, pretty mild out there. Temperatures right now around 70 degrees, some lower 70s, warm at recess 85, and a possibility of an isolated shower, hot going home with temperatures near 90. Coastal marine forecast calling for a little bit of an east wind at 5 knots, seas anywhere about a foot. Next high tide is not till late this afternoon, 4:43 to be exact. Our sunrise was at 7:14. Our sunset's not till 6:54 tonight. Water temperatures middle 80s out there into the Gulf. Look for some mostly smooth conditions on the inland lakes and bays today, with about a 20% chance of a couple isolated showers.
And coming up here on Daybreak on 12 News Plus, the second suspect in Sunday's deadly shooting in Beaumont surrendering overnight. We are live from BPD headquarters this morning, breaking down the latest details.
Plus, heartbreaking new details after an Angleton mother is arrested for shooting her 4 children. Her chilling reason for her actions as told to deputies from behind bars.
And Governor Abbott, he made a stop in Beaumont, who he endorsed for the District 21 seats.
And it is 7:27. We'll be right back with more news and weather in a bit.
Good morning, Southeast Texas. Thanks for joining us here on Daybreak on 12 News Plus. I'm Mark Armstrong.
And I'm Tia Johnson. Your time now 7:30. Let's take a look at your top stories this morning. A Port Arthur man will spend 8 years in prison for a deadly 2022 shooting. Arthur Small was originally charged with murder but pled guilty to manslaughter. Christopher Thomas was shot several times on 53rd Street in Port Arthur. 2 other men were also charged in the murder.
Testimony is expected to begin today in Romeo Johnson's murder trial. He's also charged with aggravated robbery after he and another man, allegedly Brandon Dodd, were indicted in the murder of Ronald Barnes. Now, his body was found in a house on Ives Street in September of last year with a gunshot wound to the shoulder. Johnson was ID'd through community tips.
Newton County deputies and Texas game wardens found an alligator in a horse trailer while investigating a stolen game camera. They found 43-year-old Donald Ray Buchanan at a home on County Road 3103 Sunday. He was wanted out of Hardin County for failure to appear on a drug charge. The camera and a 4-wheeler that was reported stolen in 2011 were recovered. Buchanan is in the Newton County Jail. No word on what happened to that gator. Switching gears to take a look at the skies right now. Look at that big cloud, and I was going to say smoky cloud, but it's not smoky. It is definitely a dark cloud in Port Arthur. Very fitting for October, huh, Jeff?
I guess so.
Yeah,
sure.
It kind of looks haunted.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Haunted. I got you.
You
All
get what I'm
right.
saying?
Yeah, I got
Spooky.
you. Yeah, a little spooky.
Spooky
out.
forecast.
Okay. Yeah, not that spooky. But I understand. I got you. I got what you're saying. Anyway, temperatures out there. A little warm this morning. 71 Kirbyville and Orange, right at 70 in Jasper. Woodville's at 71. 72 in Silsbee, 73 in Port Arthur, and then Beaumont's been holding into the upper 60s for this morning. Take you over to Orange, where we've been seeing a little bit of fog this morning. Right now, it looks like it's clearing up. You can see some of the blue sky out there. Not looking too bad at the Horseman's Western Store over in Orange. Our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network currently showing 73. Winds out of the northeast at about 6 miles per hour. Highs today will top out about 90, and we'll see a small chance for a couple of showers popping up again late this afternoon, early evening as we head towards the weekend. No rain in the forecast, but definitely some cooler temperatures. We'll look at those numbers coming up in weather.
All right, Jeff, and we've got breaking news from overnight in Beaumont that we continue to cover. The second suspect in a deadly weekend shooting is now in custody. 12 News, we were once again the only news station there as 31-year-old Murray Gibbs taken to the Jefferson County Jail last night around 11 p.m. And this comes after another suspect was arrested and the victim, 34-year-old Joseph Bim, was identified.
We've been following the latest developments in this story since Sunday. 12 News reporter Derek Jones is joining us live from police headquarters in downtown Beaumont. Derek, now that both suspects are in custody, we're also hearing from the victim's family.
Yeah, Mark, it's here. We spoke with the Bim's family yesterday, and yesterday also, like hours ago, Murray Gibbs, 31 years old, was taken into custody. According to sources, he surrendered and was taken to BPD and then later transported to the Jefferson County Jail. It comes after officers arrested 46-year-old Lamond Hines a little more than 12 hours after the Sunday morning shooting. Both men are charged with murder. Hines' bond is set to $2.5 million. A bond has not yet been set for Gibbs. I was out in the neighborhood yesterday where the shooting happened, speaking to neighbors, and they're in disbelief trying to understand why these 2 men allegedly opened fire on Bim's vehicle as he drove down Orange Avenue. According to a probable cause affidavit 12 News obtained from Judge Mark Duran, surveillance video showed the 2 suspects getting out of the white SUV, approaching Bim's truck, and the second suspect was spotted in the road. 12 News spoke with Bim's family, his sister Kelly Little saying she doesn't understand why anyone would want to hurt her brother.
I feel messed up, tore up inside, because that's the only brother I had. That's all I had. My brother did not bother nobody. He just worked and made sure he took care of his child and made sure he took care of us.
We also spoke to the victim's mother, Barbara Little. She told us she knew something was wrong the moment Bim left her house that morning, saying she could not sleep. Now that both have been arrested and bonds are set, we're waiting for a judge to make an initial hearing in the next 48 hours. In Beaumont and the PD station, Derek Jones, 12 News.
We'll be keeping our eyes on that story. Thank you so much, Derek. Now to heartbreaking new details about the Angleton mother accused of shooting her 4 children, killing 2 of them.
Yeah, court documents, they reveal what she told deputies from behind bars. Anna Yeli Ruiz has the new information, which may be upsetting to some viewers.
Court documents are painting a disturbing picture of what may have led to the deaths of 2 young children, allegedly at the hands of their own mother. 31-year-old Oninda Romelius is accused of shooting all 4 of her children early Saturday morning. Investigators say she drove nearly an hour from her home in Porter to this gas station in Angleton and then called 911.
We need multiple ambulances.
You can hear the officers' urgency as they uncover a tragic scene. 13-year-old Okero Covington had been killed, and 3-year-old Amara Chappelle also died in the back seat.
We're doing first aid. We're doing everything we can.
Officers rushed to help the 2 surviving children, 9-year-old Kyle Romelius and 8-year-old Traviel Donner. Both were airlifted to Memorial Hermann Hospital fighting for their lives. Meanwhile, their mother was taken into custody, and what she allegedly told investigators is chilling. When asked why she called 911, court documents said she told investigators, instead of them doing it to me, I'm going to do it to them. When asked do what, she reportedly replied, kill them all. She also told investigators she didn't call 911. She called the devil. She told detectives her children were with the devil. She went on to tell them they're dead. When asked what she meant by what she said, she replied, you can't take me without me taking you. It's unclear what may have pushed her to this point, but investigators searched her home in Porter, but haven't released what, if anything, was found. One car was towed, but digging into her past, Orninda has a criminal record, including arrests for DUI, drug possession, and reckless driving. And nearly 12 years ago, she appeared on the reality TV show Paternity Court, trying to learn who fathered her oldest child. Neither of the men tested turned out to be the father. Now she sits behind bars, accused of something far more serious.
And CPS confirms that they had a prior interaction with Romulus, but can't release details due to confidentiality. The surviving children, they are still in the hospital, and a judge hasn't yet ruled on who's going to take temporary custody. She is being held on a $14 million bond.
Switching gears now to the government shutdown. A bill to end the government shutdown failed again Monday, meaning this shutdown is now entering its 7th day today. Democrats say they're holding out for a better deal on health care. House lawmakers already passed the legislation. They're just waiting for the measure to pass in the Senate.
And now to the fight over the National Guard deployment in cities across the nation, including troops from our state of Texas. Over the last few days, President Trump has ordered soldiers into Portland and Chicago. And last night, Governor Abbott shared this photo on social media showing what he says is the state's National Guard, quote, deploying now. But other state leaders, they are pushing back. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker is joining the state and the city of Chicago in a lawsuit to block these troops, calling it a federal overreach.
Donald Trump's deranged depiction of Chicago as a hellhole, a war zone, and the worst and most dangerous city in the world was just complete BS.
And a judge blocked the Guard's deployment in Oregon as officials there say that there is no need for military intervention. President Trump saying that he's considering using the Insurrection Act to deploy the troops.
Governor Abbott spent part of the day in Beaumont yesterday rallying Republicans. He was the keynote speaker at the Golden Triangle Republican Women's Luncheon. During his remarks, he addressed a number of issues, including political violence and recovery after the deadly Hill Country floods. He was also there to endorse Dr. Ray Callis. Dr. Callis is running for the District 21 Texas House seat.
He's the president of the Texas Medical Association. He's a military veteran, a doctor. Because I've known him so long, I got to see firsthand the time and love that he has for his wife and his kids.
We spoke with Dr. Callis right after he announced his candidacy in August. He told us he plans to focus on mental health.
I'm very concerned about mental health. I'm very concerned about behavioral health. I'm very concerned about making sure we allow people that are suffering from these very bad diseases to have a platform.
He's the only candidate in the race at this point. He'll run in the 2026 primaries in March ahead of the election next November.
And early voting in the November general election, which is about to happen here next month, that's going to kick off in just a little less than 2 weeks. And there are some changes that you need to know about before heading to the polls. Now, mail-in ballots are going to be in larger fonts. You're also going to have to sign a waiver if you need a vote to vote curbside. Poll workers are going to be getting a raise for this election, now making $16 an hour. Jefferson County Clerk Roxana Costa-Helberg says that this will be the longest ballot, particularly in Beaumont, with 17 state amendments, 5 bond proposals for the city, and 1 Beaumont venue tax.
We've had some legislative changes since our last election, and so we are updating everybody. We do have a very, very lengthy ballot this round, 17 constitutional amendments, and a lot of local elections that we're managing.
And there's other local elections happening across Southeast Texas with their own ballot initiatives. Now, the window to register to vote for the upcoming November election that closed yesterday. And here are some other key dates. Early voting less than 2 weeks, beginning on October 20th and ending on the 31st. And then the last day to apply for a mail-in ballot, that is the 24th. Election day is Tuesday, November 4th.
Still ahead, the man behind one of the most viral memes ever is on a mission to do some good and has been for nearly a decade. Plus, a couples game day delivery turned into a celebration to super fans who've gone super viral.
When industry news breaks, we're on the front lines, digging into the issue.
Lamar is working to protect Power City from hackers,
Filtering out rumors and giving you the facts direct from inside sources.
ExxonMobil and lawyers for the United Steelworkers
taking on the story from all sides.
The company filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection last year.
Southeast Texas is a power city, and we're bringing the power to you. 12 News, putting Southeast Texas first.
As Texans, we have many reasons to be proud of the Lone Star State. Showing our pride by saying, "Don't mess with Texas," means we gotta step up, walk the walk. Do our part to keep Texas clean. Because after all these years, all these miles, all these traditions, for all us Texans, "Don't mess with Texas" means don't litter.
It's hard to really come to terms with dementia. There are little things that you can't even begin to plan for that happen that you need the early diagnosis for. My mom has done so much for me. There's no way that I wouldn't do the same for her. It's so important to have the conversation with your doctor earlier because you just do not know what the future holds.
We begin with breaking news in Port Neches.
Firefighters continue attacking the flames from the air.
We're working to learn more about a police chase.
We'll give you a live look at the scene tonight. Our crew there.
A chase in Port Neches turned into a standoff.
So we're working to get you more information.
We're going to keep you updated on air and online as we learn more.
Stream extended coverage on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
I'm meteorologist Kerry Cooper here with another hurricane tip, evacuating correctly. If local authorities advise you to evacuate, do so immediately and without delay. Bring your emergency kit and be sure to follow evacuation routes. Do not try to take shortcuts because they may be blocked. Also, remember to eat and get enough sleep for you to deal with whatever stress that may come your way. For more hurricane tips, go to 12newsnow.com/hurricane.
Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
Welcome back. Texas is officially getting its own stock exchange. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission just approved the Texas Stock Exchange, or TXSE, to operate as a national exchange. The Dallas-based startup expects to launch next year with more than $160 million in backing from firms like BlackRock and Citadel Securities. Supporters like Governor Abbott say it's a sign Texas is becoming a major financial hub. TXSE says it'll offer a fully digital platform and says it's betting Texas's strong economy and growing number of Fortune 500 companies will help draw businesses to, quote, Y'all Street instead of Wall Street.
Temperatures this morning in the lower 70s, right around 71 right now in Woodville, Kirbyville, and Orange, 70 in Jasper, 73 in Port Arthur, and 72 in Silsbee. Beaumont in the upper 60s at about 67. Speaking of Beaumont, we'll look right outside our 12 News studio as we look over towards downtown Beaumont. It's right there kind of on the left side of your screen. This camera is brought to you by Mid-County Plumbing. Sun's coming up this morning, so it looks like it's going to be a pretty good start. We've had some fog around, especially up towards the lakes. Seems like that's starting to burn off now and visibilities are increasing, but definitely a little bit foggy out there in some spots for this morning. Our Roofing 911 Live SkyCam network showing that sun coming up over the horizon. Here's the weather map for this morning. Still shows stationary front, but it's actually a warm front lifting to the north. Some moisture, some warm temperatures coming in behind that. You can see a couple of showers near the coast. What we're waiting for is a secondary front. This front will come in as we head towards, looks like, late Wednesday night, early Thursday. Finally, some cooler temperatures. Some drier air coming in with this front. We could use a little bit of rain with it, but it doesn't look like we're going to see too much as the front passes through. Right now, pretty quiet. There are a couple isolated showers. You see a little cluster of some showers right at the south end of Sabine Lake, down towards Sabine Pass, but that's about it. That's all we have through southeast Texas right now, and these are kind of hanging a little bit more towards the Louisiana side of the lake than here in our Texas side. Our futurecast takes us out of the 70s into the 80s by mid-morning or so, and then we'll work our way up into the lower 90s for this afternoon. Can't rule out some showers here and there. We'll go 20% today, and then this evening they should die down. Temperatures in the 70s as we go through the overnight, maybe some 60s towards the lakes area to start off on your Wednesday. Out in the Atlantic and in the Gulf, we have a little area here in the Gulf that the Hurricane Center is watching. It's very southern end of the Gulf, Bay of Campeche. 10% chance of development there. Doesn't look like we'll see too much. But the one out in the Atlantic looks like that will develop into something. If it becomes a name storm, next name is Jerry, and that will, it looks like, stay out in the open Atlantic, will not be bothering the U.S. Forecast, partly cloudy for today. Small chance of rain with highs right around 90 degrees. Tonight, it's lower 70s, upper 60s, partly cloudy with light and variable winds. 7-day forecast shows a small chance of rain on Wednesday. After that, here comes the front Thursday. Like I said, we wish we could get some rain with it, but it doesn't look that way. But definitely going to see a little bit cooler temperatures. We go down to about 86 for a high on Saturday. And a couple of mornings there, morning lows will be in the lower 60s. Looking good, nice and mild in the mornings.
Can't complain about that. It seems like we're getting closer and closer to an actual fall. I know we're in fall, but it's starting to feel like it.
Late October, November, that's when it really starts to feel. And that's actually when the leaves start to change around here in November, late November.
Like, so by October 25th, no, I got plans.
No, you won't see too much color on the trees.
One of my friends texted me, can you ask Jeff what the weather could possibly be like on that date?
On the 25th?
We got homecoming.
Okay,
we outside.
So it's a little far out. So a little past my forecasting ability.
Okay.
Oh, you can't see into the future.
I can give you some average temperatures for that date, but I can't,
I guess that'll have to do.
We're going to guarantee that.
Average is okay.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll follow up with you. Thank you, Jeff. And just a reminder, you can download our app at any time to get the latest on the weather. You can check the radar by going to the radar tab in the app. Well, check this out. 12 years ago, a man named Drew, he blinked on camera and his life, it hasn't been the same ever since. His face is behind one of the most famous memes ever, known as the blinking guy.
I use this one pretty often. For nearly a decade, Drew Scanlon has been using his face to do some good in this world. ABC's Danny New has the scoop.
So I've been doing some farming.
For nearly a decade now, this small, nonverbal reaction has been a staple of internet vernacular.
Were you thinking in that moment, man, I just did something really funny and relatable?
Not at all. Drew Scanlon has been known as quote-unquote blinking guy since 2017. That's when this clip from a live stream with the video game reviewing website Giant Bomb exploded as the meme you use to convey subtle irritation. Vox even ranked it the 11th greatest GIF of all time, ahead of ones featuring DiCaprio and President Obama.
A lot of times it doesn't feel like me, because I didn't really have anything to do with it besides the fact that it's my face.
Well, the clip is actually from 2013 when this Bay Area video producer was reacting to a dirty joke we're not going to play for you. However, Drew has no idea how it became so popular 4 years later.
Please? As you wish.
In fact, Drew says most people tell him they thought this was a clip of actor Carrie Elways, including...
My wife thought that's who it was until she met me.
But since this clip rose to fame, Drew has used it for good, raising money for an annual bike race supporting the National Multiple Sclerosis Society. His friend Katie and her mother Ellie both have MS.
I've just been floored with the reaction.
So once a year, Drew posts to his rarely used social media account to say, "Hi Internet, I'm Drew, and this is my face." He then directs his followers to a donation link. This year, his post on X has picked up more than 21 million views, with one commenter writing, quote, "Not all heroes wear capes. Some just blink confusedly." Over the years, Drew says this strategy has helped him raise more than $300,000 for the MS Society, partially thanks to a famous moment he feels he had nothing to do with.
It was a gift that was given to me, and I thought that, well, I should just pay it forward.
Cute story there.
Very much so.
And I use that meme often. I really do. All right, well, many first-time parents have a birth story to tell their child one day, but a couple of die-hard Buffalo Bills fans will have the tale of a lifetime.
Yeah, Alex and Kyra, they were watching the first game of the season against the Ravens, and Kyra's water broke. Look at this.
What just happened, Kai? This is a movie!
The couple turned off the game and called their doctor, who said it wasn't an emergency and that they had some time. So they did what any super fan would do. They just turned that game right back on. Of course, those Bills, they turned things around. I don't know how, scoring an unforgettable win, and the couple posted their story online, which has gotten a lot of attention.
What a crazy way to become first-time parents and welcome a baby into this world. But it's been so sweet just to see how many people have rallied around her.
And the couple, they even got a special shout out during the Sunday night football broadcast. Very cute.
And some happy news from our 12 News family. 409 Sports Director Brandon Roddy is a new dad. Baby boy Benjamin Lewis Roddy entered the world yesterday morning, and he's healthy, weighing 8 pounds, 6 ounces, and measuring 22 inches long. Mom and baby are doing great, and we hear Brandon is holding up just fine, too. We'll have more news and weather during your morning rush out next.
As tropical activity picks up in the Gulf, 12 News is your hurricane headquarters. Get prepared before a storm hits. Watch the 12 News Hurricane Special, streaming on 12 News Plus. From the must-haves in your supply kit to the evacuation routes you'll need to take, plus safety tips and how you can protect yourself from storm scammers. The 12 News Hurricane Special, keeping you prepared. Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
No matter where we start, every mile brings us closer. And as Texans, we take care of each other along the way. We lend a hand, slow down, and take our time. At the end of the day, we all want to get home safe. Drive like a Texan. Kind, courteous, and safe.
The impact killed my dad and brother instantly. A man, after drinking excessively with his coworkers, ran a stop sign, T-boned my parents' Honda, and destroyed our family. He could have just said, "Hey, I'm not okay." There's Lyft, there's Uber, there's taxis. There's so many other options. Every day, someone else can be taken away.
The STEM fields are providing opportunity to be part of the developments that will shape the future, and the Army National Guard is at the forefront of the movement. Soldiers can serve part-time and choose from dozens of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics jobs, working with cutting-edge technology and innovations. And the skills and experience they receive can open doors for them to civilian careers in the STEM world. Join a team that is taking the lead in STEM by talking to a local recruiter or by going to nationalguard.com/careers.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Patrick Vaughn, here with some hurricane tips for protecting yourself against flooding. Take shelter in a designated storm shelter or an interior room and stay away from glass windows of doors. And if flooding begins, move to higher ground immediately. Never walk, swim, or drive through floodwaters. Remember, turn around, don't drown. For more hurricane tips, go to 12newsnow.com/hurricane.
Sponsored by Entergy.
Welcome back to Daybreak. Just about to turn 6:55 right now, and that means it's time for your morning rush out.
Here's everything you need to know as you start your day. A second suspect in Sunday's deadly shooting in Beaumont is in custody. 31-year-old Murray Gibbs was taken to the Jefferson County Jail last night around 11 p.m. Our sources tell us he surrendered. It comes after 46-year-old Lamont Hines was arrested Sunday night. Both men are charged with murder. We expect they'll face a judge in the next 48 hours.
And a woman was killed in a motorcycle crash Saturday on South Major Drive near I-10. Police say that driver, Clifton Joliet, he lost control and hit a concrete culvert. He and his wife, they were thrown from the bike. Emily is her name. She was pronounced dead at the scene. Clifton was taken to the hospital in critical condition. We are working to get an update on his condition.
Local police departments will be taking part in National Night Out today. It's a chance for neighbors to meet the officers who patrol their streets, and it's all about building a stronger community. Beaumont, Nederland, Port Neches, Groves, Port Arthur, China, and Jasper are having events. There will be food, giveaways, and activities. For more info, check our website.
Well, if you liked yesterday, I think you'll like today. We're back up around 90 with a small chance of a couple of showers. Same deal for Wednesday, and then with the front coming through on Thursday, we'll see cooler temperatures as we head towards our weekend. Highs in the 80s and lows back in the middle to lower 60s. So it's going to feel very nice Friday, Saturday mornings. Could see some upper 50s in the lakes.
In just 2 hours, you can join me in Viter for Tia's Tales. We'll read and learn together and do an activity at the library. This is perfect for those of you who do homeschooling. Join in on the fun with me. I'll see you at 10 a.m.
And thanks so much for watching Daybreak here on 12 News Plus.
Mark, you'll be doing midday today,
I sure
but
will.
make sure you guys tune in at 11.
Have a great day, everybody.